This is Henry Frederick of Headline Surfer, and we've now gone through our 3 lively debates, well, 2.5 debates, since Willie J. Kimmons didn't show up for the District 4 seat, and then of course Heather Post and Al Smith had a very spirited debate, and the county chair race lived up to what I thought it would with Ed Kelly and incumbent Jason Davis. So with me now is H. Alan Burton.
Right.
If I wouldn't be a good reporter if I didn't get you to tell us what the H stands for.
I have to tell you.
You're going to have to tell me. Full transparency.
Yeah.
If you can't give away the H, how can we trust you?
My joke is it stands for handsome.
Really?
But, as if I'm not getting a lot of laughs, it stands for Harvey. My dad is Harvey, and my mom figured out that it probably wasn't the best thing to have 2 Harveys under one roof. So my dad's Harvey, and I was always Alan.
Well, being the big baseball fan that I am, Cincinnati Reds, Boston Red Sox, 1975, I remember a guy named Harvey Kuhn, who managed the Milwaukee Brewers. Jim Audi, am I correct in that?
Yes.
I think they called him Harvey Wallbanger, but the point is a joke. You are wearing a Cubs outfit.
Oh, did you notice? No, I've been a lifetime Cub fan ever since I was in diapers. I grew up in Chicago.
So you've been a loser your whole life.
I've been a loser.
And now you're a winner. Because there is a World Series, and on November 8th, you're going to take the ticket, right?
I'm a loyal Cub fan. Win or lose, I'm with them 100%.
Now, let me get this straight. Who's the general manager of the Cubs?
Epstein?
Theo Epstein.
You mean the guy from the Red Sox?
Right. And now, who's the field manager for the Cleveland Indians?
Francona guy?
Terry Francona?
Yeah.
Did he go to World Series with the Red Sox?
Probably 1 or
Maybe
2 or 3.
So, is this the watered down? Is this like the mix and match?
I think, you know, it's like the conversion, or not conversion, the what do you call it, when you get to one spot there, they're all coming to Chicago, so.
Well, you got that outfielder from the Braves who went to St. Louis. I can't remember his name. Haywood. You got the second baseman from the Royals.
Oh, the big Z, Ben Zobrist.
From the Tampa Bay Rays.
Great ball player.
Picked by Madden.
Yeah. And Joe Madden, who was with the Angels when they won the World Series as the bench coach.
Yeah.
You know,
I love baseball.
Took the Rays to the World Series, I believe.
Yeah, he's a good man.
So, okay, let's get right down to it. You're running for
the Volusia County Property Appraiser.
The only thing I remember about the property appraiser last year was kind of exciting was the fact that he hightailed the staff out of the building there on what was it, Beach Street because of the homeless situation.
Right.
That was a big soap opera. I assume that you'll be doing more than that and
yes.
Coming in the door. What do you think is the number one role of? What's the number one job description for the appraiser?
The appraiser is just that, appraising, and I am a professional appraiser.
Is that like an accountant?
It's a technical position, and that there's a certain skill set that you need to do so that you can produce evaluation and communicate that to whomever you need to communicate. As far as the Volusia County Property Appraiser, I need to communicate that to the Department of Revenue.
It must be kind of difficult for you to get the message out to the everyday person. Kind of like supervising elections, appraiser, and not as sexy, so to speak, although this outfit is pretty good.
That's the best I can do.
As sexy as like the sheriff,
right.
or the county chair. How do you overcome that?
I overcome it by trying to make my message as sweet and short and stay on message as possible. And the three basic messages I have is that one, I am a professional appraiser. I'm licensed with the state of Florida. I've been certified in the state of Florida. I've also gone through the technical learning and the exams for mass appraisal, which is part of this position, and that I've been certified now for more than 10 years. So I have this specific skill set, and I'm currently an appraiser for Forsyth Appraisal. The second part is that I've been a public administrator, just like Morgan Gilroy, for more than 20 years, as a department head or higher. So I've dealt with staffing, budgeting, computer, youth programs, and customer service. So, and the third part is that I believe in the fair and just values as defined by the Florida Constitution, and it's upheld by the Florida Supreme Court, and that also there's a whole numerous chapters of Florida regulations that I have to abide by as well. So there's thousands and thousands of rules and regulations. You have to make sure you make the right call. And there's only 3 ways you get value as a property appraiser, no matter if it's private or in the Volusia County Property Appraiser. That's a sales comparison approach, cost approach, or income approach. I'm familiar with all 3 of those. And when I put mine, I'm the only candidate who can sign my name and give it to a bank so they can make a loan on it. And when you do that for millions and millions of dollars,
Sounds like being a tax collector.
no, it's not tax collector. That is probably the biggest problem in terms of going out and talking to people.
Right.
They say, well, can you lower my taxes? And I go, no, I don't do lowering taxes.
Do you have
I
like
do
standards
evaluation.
for your evaluations? Do you have like a guide or like a set of rules or metrics for like how you assess what a house is worth or?
Yes, there's.
Without getting into.
No, I know, you'll get glazed over real fast. I look at the 4 corners and then forget the 4 corners. You evaluate hundreds of properties and then you turn to thousands of properties and you move into that valuation. So with all the things that go into it, you still have to go through this whole series of rules and regs to make sure you're in that zone, so that when I say, Henry, your home is worth X amount, and when you get your trim notice, say, oh, that's what you could sell your home for back in January 1st of the previous years. And that is all retrospective appraising. So I review everything, but I'm the only candidate that produces a value and puts my signature behind that value when I communicate it to the client.
Do you know why people don't like people like you? Because of terms like trim.
Yeah.
You're not trimming the taxes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this in all seriousness.
Yes.
You can have a house that's worth a set amount, has a nice pool deck, beautiful
Right.
structure, whatever, aesthetics of the community. What about when you have like 22 sex offenders living within a 2-mile radius? Do you take any of that into the crime rates into consideration? Because people always talk about, well, you're going to make my home values
The
go
answer
down.
to you is very specifically is no.
No. So that's a bit
FEMA, not FEMA, but the Fannie Mae, they are very specific that you don't
Is that
bring.
Wall Street?
Yeah,
Kind
kind
of?
of Fannie,
Yeah.
Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they buy the secondary.
Right.
But it's very specific in their rules, is that if you bring that in, you bring in bias, and then you gotta be impartial. So if you bring some of those issues into your valuation, you are no longer impartial.
Well, that's kind of fascinating. So
Yeah.
basically, what you're saying now
Yeah.
is that for someone like me that covers crime,
Yeah.
that's what I love to do, almost as much as professional baseball and WWE, is that you can have a home that's worth a certain thing, but on paper, it doesn't matter who's out there, the home still holds its value. You're not going to lower it because there's a child molester living down the street.
Correct.
That's interesting. How did you do in the primary? There was 3 of you.
There was 3 of us, I won by a couple points.
And what was your vote percentage? Not the vote.
It was like 37%.
So, do you think having the 3rd candidate took away from, maybe if the top 2 had been in a general election?
Well,
Or not really?
I'm not sure. Of the 3 candidates, 2 of us were into the appraisal and were appraisers, and there was 1 that is not. So the 2 of us combined were over 50% through the whole county.
Your opponent is not here, so not
Yeah, I
he
don't-
doesn't get the benefit of his name being mentioned.
Right, but
Who is it Swanko?
No, it's Larry Bartlett is
Yeah.
the other candidate. I don't see him as my opponent. I really don't.
You're running your own race.
I'm running. I have from June of
Well, you've got a positive
2015.
message.
Be positive, and I said, this is where I'm at. I'm a professional here, here, and here. Because everything I say right now, if I'm elected come January 2nd, they're going to say, didn't you say A, B, and C? So it's a job, and I think I'm running for appraiser. I'm not running against anybody. And I think it's what I really like about Morgan is that he has not endorsed anybody. He said he's not going to. He wants to leave it up to the public, like yourself, to vote for the best qualified.
Well, I'm going to
candidate.
endorse, I think you already know, I'm going to endorse you for the
you.
general election. I mean, you've been transparent as transparent can be. although
I
my
mean,
attire here today is a little
it's
dispiriting
casual.
to a former Red Sox fan.
It's a casual Friday.
Again, all keys
Yes, sir.
aside.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you can get this done in 18 days?
Yes.
And will you be a more informational, working with internet news like we are, new media? It's always been a battle of traditional media and the news, the government, and not having that. And once in a while we get a little bit guilty on the phone. How will you make that your job?
Well,
Just dealing with the public and to people like us?
Well, communicate. Well, I'm an us.
Yeah.
But communicating to the public about the value of their property and the taxes they pay, which if they don't pay, there's consequences and things of that nature. If they don't pay the bank, there's consequences to that. And then I have been in homes where people have lost their homes and became homeless. It's very painful to go into a house and see hardly any of the furniture left, or you go into it was completely foreclosed. So I think it's very important that when an appraiser goes and appraises a home, that you don't overpraise or underpraise, you tell it just how it is as the law defines, and that talking to the people in the community when I go door to door, I still have I got a group of people out there going right now door to door as we speak, is that homestead exemptions have been lost when somebody wants to buy from a bigger home to a smaller home to save taxes. They make the transition, forget to file the paperwork, and they pay more in taxes to the smaller home than they do with the bigger home. And it's more than just one or two times. I've heard this dozens of times. So I would like to try to move to make sure those exemptions become a seamless transaction. And that when you're sitting at a closing and I'm signing the papers and you're the closing agent, that one of those papers should have the ability to sign off on homestead exemption, because when that is done, those, like the warranty deed, is filed with the clerk, which our new clerk will be Laura Roth. Then that is then transferred to the department. So the property appraiser gets that information from the clerk, and it goes into the history value.
Well, I think we got TMI now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You're too passionate about it.
But the idea is to really, I say that, and I about that if we're getting in the weeds, but those are taxpayers that are getting hurt by paperwork by government. We need to reduce the government, and if we have to use more social media to educate, that's what I'm trying to come back, to educate and help people.
Well, remember, we are legitimate news media.
Oh, absolutely.
But we embrace social media aspects.
And the world's changing, and I think that is kind of an embrace that I'm comfortable with. Just like when I do my job, I use an iPad now and a laser distance.
I think it's fascinating in the 5 or 10 minutes we've had just to understand what you've told me about the delineation between property values and criminal elements. I really always assumed, and you should never assume as a reporter, but when you're going day to day covering the breaking news, it's fascinating that you draw that delineation.
Well, I think this is probably the point where I like to share with you too, is that I do believe strongly in conversation, and that have people have conversation. If a taxpayer comes in, have a conversation. Not to take a position, but have a conversation first and see, oh, okay, I see, or that, I could do this if I make this seamless, blah, 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 and then communicate that so we can help people enjoy the quality of life here in Blue County.
I have a feeling that we're going to be hearing more from Alan Burton, Harvey, in the next, 4 years?
It'll be the next 4 years.
In dealing with media and getting the word out to the public, and we're looking at the opportunity of working with you.
Well, I thank you,
Thank you for coming by
and you can
today.
be certain with Burton.
That's right. Oh, you did okay until then.
Okay.
I would leave while you're ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.